Level 1. The applicant. You are 19 years old, standing in a San Diego recruiting office while the hum of the air conditioner provides a comfort you won't feel again for a decade. On the wall, a poster tells you that the only easy day was yesterday, but right now, it's just a cool quote for a t-shirt. You've spent months doing pull-ups until your hands bled, but the physical screening test is a different beast. You swim 500 yards, push through 42 push-ups, and run a mile and a half in heavy boots. You pass, barely. You sign a contract without even reading the last page. And 3 weeks later, you're standing on a painted line in Illinois cold, realizing that the line is just the beginning. Level 2. The BUDS student. Now you're in Coronado, California. The instructors call it BUDS, but you call it hell. It's 4:45 a.m. and you're hitting 65-degree water that feels like jagged ice. Then comes Hell Week, 132 hours of continuous training on only 4 hours of sleep. At 2:17 a.m. on the third night, you watch Torres, the strongest guy in your class, walk up to that brass bell and ring it. He's out. That's when you realize the body breaks at the edges, but the mind is what breaks first. 6 months later, you're one of only 31 men left from a class of 187. When the instructor presses the SEAL trident into your chest, drawing blood, you don't flinch. You've survived the sieve. Level 3. The new guy, NG. At 22, you finally arrive at SEAL Team 5, but you aren't a hero yet. You're the NG, the new guy. You carry the heaviest gear, you take the worst watches, and you keep your mouth shut, because complaining as an NG is like bleeding in shark-infested water. Your first deployment is to the Kunar province in Afghanistan. You're on a 12-kilometer patrol through vertical terrain, and your senior chief, a man named Decca, hasn't said a word to you the entire time. When you get back to the wire, he hands you a protein bar and says, "You held your spacing." In that moment, you realize respect isn't demanded here, it's earned in the silence of doing your job. Level 4. The operator. By 26, you've completed 3 deployments. You aren't the new guy anymore, you're the operator. Your world is no longer about the noise of training, it's about absolute, silent precision. You find yourself in a drainage ditch in the Anbar province of Iraq, watching a target through scope for days, controlling your breathing like a rationed resource. Looking up at the clear desert sky, you think about that 19-year-old kid in San Diego who didn't read the last page of his contract. He had no idea what he was signing up for, but you wouldn't trade this life for anything. Level 5. The lead petty officer. You're 29 now, and you've stepped into the role of lead petty officer, the backbone of the unit. You're responsible for the men now, not just yourself. There's a guy in your platoon named Reeves. He's fast and aggressive, but he's impatient. When he breaks sector during a training exercise, you don't scream at him in front of everyone. You pull him aside in the dark and speak plainly. You've learned that your job isn't to be the strongest individual anymore. It's to provide transferable strength, so the team holds together even when you aren't there to lead them. Level 6. The chief. At 33, you reach the rank of Chief Petty Officer. You oversee a full platoon of 16 men. Your officer, Marsh, is brilliant but green, and your job is the most complicated dance in the military, making him an effective leader without ever undermining his authority. When a mission in Mali goes sideways because of a weather gap and radio silence, you adapt the plan in real time. The official report will later credit the meticulous planning, but the team knows what actually happened in those 8 minutes of chaos. You don't need the credit, you just need your men home. Level 7. Senior Chief. By 38, you're one of less than 200 senior chiefs in the teams. You're the institutional memory. You're the one the younger chiefs call when the textbook fails and the situation doesn't make sense. When a young SEAL named Castillo starts doubting if he truly belongs in this life, you don't give him a movie speech. You tell him about a cold night in 2009 and a protein bar handed to you in the dark. You don't fix his problem, you give him the perspective he needs to decide his own fate. Level 8. Master Chief. At 43, you're a Master Chief. You sit in rooms with admirals, and you speak the hard truth they don't always want to hear. When a proposal comes across your desk to lower BUD standards to save money, you spend 3 weeks fighting it tooth and nail. You know what the spreadsheets don't. The standard isn't arbitrary, it's the entire point. A man who hasn't been broken in training is a man who will break when the lives of his teammates depend on him. Level 9. Commanding Officer. At 47, you're a commander leading a squadron. You're responsible for hundreds of people, SEALs, analysts, and support staff. You've learned that an organization that doesn't reward accuracy eventually stops producing it. So when a 24-year-old analyst named Pham finds an intelligence pattern that all the seniors missed, you make sure her name is the one on the final report. You don't think about what you've sacrificed anymore. You only think about the culture you've built. Level 10. Rear Admiral. You're 52 years old, with 1 star on your shoulder. You command the entire Naval Special Warfare Command. Your budget is massive, and your phone rings at 3 a.m. with secrets you can never share with another soul. One Wednesday, you find yourself walking past that same brass bell in Coronado. You think about Torres ringing it at 2:17 a.m., and you think about Decca. You realize the teams didn't just make you hard, they made you honest. You walk back to your office, hold your spacing, and pass the strength forward to the next generation. The path of a SEAL is defined by the standards we keep and the brothers we protect. Thank you for walking through these levels with us today. If you found this journey insightful, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more POV stories every day. We truly appreciate your time and your support. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.